Good evening, dear all. It's so great to see people joining our Thursday webinar series, and welcome to English Without Borders platform, where we say, 1 hour a week makes a teacher um, best progressive and also, great. So please join and enjoy this webinar. And as usual, uh, we invite prominent speakers as well as devoted members of EWB, professionals, both domestically and globally. And today we are very happy to host our brilliant speaker, Mrs. Marwa Mansour, who is a devoted EWB member. And some of you already know about Marwa Mansour. Some of you don't know, but anyway, let me introduce her. And if you get a chance to apply for EWB National Conference and Expo, you will sure to meet her in person. So please, yes, register and save your spot because 3 days left till the deadline. So please make the right choice to attend this conference and gain the latest trends and of course, learn from the professionals in English language teaching field. So let's go back to our speaker today. Welcome, Marwa. It's so great to see you always.
Thank you, Ms. Nasiba. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's such a nice person and great educator who is always ready to share her experience as well as expertise in English language teaching. So she was born in Cairo, Egypt, and she's an English language educator. After business studies, she followed her passion for teaching English with a degree from Cambridge University. And since 2004, she has held various English language leadership roles in private schools across multiple countries. Marwa actively pursues professional development and currently leads Qalam International School in Dushanbe, Tajikistan. And she's very devoted English Without Borders honor member since last year. And again, Marwa, welcome.
Thank
Dear
you.
all, please enjoy this great webinar. And of course, share your questions via chat box or in Zoom or comment box on Facebook. So over to you, dear Marwa. Please go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Nasiba, for the nice introduction. Actually, I'm very lucky to be with all these teachers, all those educators today, because tomorrow or this week, let's say, we are celebrating the Teachers' Day. So I would like to congratulate everyone. First of all, we are the ones, guys. We are building this world. And this is a big evidence that we are really moving forward. We are really improving together. We are here together. In that evening, I believe everyone is coming back from work. Everyone is already tired, but still we dedicate some of our time to improve ourselves. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. And let's start right away. Okay. Today, I think our topic is really interesting because let's say it is something not usual, but we would like to dive more into it. Outdoor education. I believe some of the teachers tried that before. But as I see that the environment or the educational environment here in Tajikistan is more into classic teaching or being into the class with a paper and a pen or a notebook and writing a lot on the board. And maybe teachers are facing difficulties even if they want to do an outdoor education activity or an outdoor class. They might face difficulty with the management or whatever. So today we will talk about outdoor education and we will try to put that in a practical way together. When to start doing that, how to start doing it, and what's happening around the world outside Tajikistan regarding outdoor education. We want to know about that together. So first of all, I want you to write in the chat box. Have you ever tried teaching outside of your classroom? Just write yes or no. That's it. Yes, we have one. Yes, 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 yes. That's really good. That's amazing. Wonderful. Okay. Actually, for me, I thought always and always that teaching outdoor is a trendy thing or it is a new thing in the world of education because what we have been educated upon was sitting in the classroom with the book and the notebook and trying to learn from the board and the teacher. That's it. But I discovered with more research that learning outdoors or outdoor education is happening in the West since the 20s. Do you imagine that? Look at these photos. I will look, let's look together at these photos together. Look at these classes. It's a full class and it is ready outdoors. If you see, there is even a board there, the chairs, the desks, everything, and looks like the students are coming ready because they know that the lesson is outdoors. Actually, the idea started when there were some problems, like health problems or pandemic happening around the countries, and they had to be outdoors just for health, safety, and so on. But after a while, it became a very nice thing, and the teachers and educators, they could touch the good result of being out of the classroom environment. So, and after that, it started to be a habit. And in some countries, even that we will discuss at the end of our webinar today, there are special schools who are only following that type of teaching or that methodology. Okay, let's start together right away. What do you think about this school? How beautiful it is, right? It's a big campus, as you see, and the campus is directly into the forest. This is the last school I have been working in Turkey. And as you see, the campus is very big, and we had a lot of green areas, so we could go outside with our students to teach them outdoor. The beautiful thing is that the school itself had ready places to conduct outdoor lessons. So as a teacher, you don't need to think about the setting too much. You just think about planning your lesson. Those are some of the places inside the school that I loved to go with my students. As you see here, almost in every place, you can see a potential or you can see something to teach. I'm talking to language teachers, okay? Science teachers and global perspective and those teachers, that was heaven for them because they could find all the resources and it is nature as you see. But for the language teachers, of course, you have to adapt your lesson to such an environment. This is one thing or one difficulty the teacher can face. How about controlling the class? How about the number of students I have? How can I control them? How can I have the classroom management? How about activities, materials? Where will the children write or draw or whatever? We will talk about all of that. Actually, when they started studying what are the benefits of having outdoor education, we will discuss four types or three types of benefits today. The first type is the cognitive benefits. Let me tell you at the very beginning, guys, it's not easy to conduct such lessons. So first of all, you have to get the permission from your management that it is allowed to have such type of lessons. Number two, you have to plan your lesson in a different way. You are not in a classroom environment, you are outdoor, so you have to think about all the problems that you might face with your students, starting from behavior to discipline to time management, everything. You have to think about that very carefully. And you have to design your activities and your assessment that you do at the end of the lesson, again, very carefully, because it is totally different environment. So let's say that all of that is done. Are my students ready to be taken outside or not? This is a very important point. Because imagine that you go to a student in grade 9 or grade 10 who has never been in outdoor education or outdoor class, and you tell them, let's go outside for a reading lesson. I believe they will think that you are joking or it's time to have fun. It's not a serious lesson or something. So you have to set the rules with them before going out because these kids are old now. They are not used to this type of education. In the West, they are applying this with the kids starting from early education, from early childhood education or school type of learning. They apply the outdoor education with the kids so they get involved with nature. They have this, how can I tell you, spiritual communication between themselves and the nature, and they can learn and connect whatever they learn to the real life. So let's look at the benefits together. What will happen to my students if I take them outdoor with a very good planning and my students are very ready and my management agreed? What will happen? First of all, the skills that we always and always talk about, if you remember our lecture about the 7 C's, the skills of problem solving and critical thinking, because these kids are learning in a very different environment. They have to solve their problems themselves. They have to think critically about maybe solving the task or getting an answer to the task you are giving to them. So I will give an example from the beginning so that we can go through it within all the webinar. I have applied one of these lessons. I will give it as an example for you. It was a listening and speaking lesson with high school. They were not high school, secondary, like grade 7, 8, something like that. And that time I noticed that my students, they don't get the importance of having a listening and speaking lesson. They just understand that grammar, writing, and reading lessons are the most important. But listening and speaking, the teacher comes, she talks sometime, and she just goes out. So I wanted to reach to the point how important the listening and speaking lesson is. So I took them outside in one of the places I showed you at the beginning. And I give them a task of, I don't know if you applied this before or not, scavenger hunt. So I gave them a list of sounds that they have to find in the nature and right beside it, where did they find it exactly, what they have seen around that, and so on. Like, for example, the sound of a bird, the sound of leaves, the sound of water, sound of feet, like people walking. These sounds, just to be very careful about every sound they hear. And how many times could they hear that? So that one was one of the lessons, for example, that we applied outdoor. So what happens here is that I left my student in a specific area to go around, and that they have to think critically and to solve whatever I gave to them, and to go around and to find that sound, that specific sound that I want him or her to find. So really being outdoor is helping to improve these skills a lot. The following skill we have is memory and concentration. Of course, you can practice that with your students a lot after they come back, for example. Hi, guys, what have you seen? We have seen trees, miss. Okay, were these trees the same or not? No, they were different, miss. Okay, can you tell me approximately how many trees you have met on your way? Okay, who was around you? Your friend, your colleague, who? No, I didn't notice, miss. I was just walking and focusing on the task. I couldn't notice. So by these types of question, you increase the mentality of having this high memory and to focus around yourself, what's happening around you. The following one is creativity and innovation, especially if you are following the transdisciplinary or interdisciplinary approach. It means that after my students come back, I will ask them to reflect somehow. That reflection can be in a written form. It can be in preparing a poster about what they have seen. It can be to draw a painting about something they imagine. For example, I heard a sound of a bird. Did you see the bird? No, miss, I couldn't see the bird. Can you imagine how does it look like? Draw that, please. So the child or the students will start drawing that sound coming from that bird. How does it look like? Or you can ask them to write from the beginning till the end of the process what has happened. So they will start writing, we started the trip like that, or we moved like that. This person was with me, we saw this, we saw that, and they will improve their writing skills. Anyhow, it is creative. Regarding innovation, you can ask them even to collect things on their way back. Of course, I'm not saying that the teacher is sitting somewhere and the kids are just away. You are with them, but it is their own journey that they have to finish in whatever time you give them, 40 minutes or 1 hour. So on your way, I want you to collect some rocks, sticks, different leaves with different shapes and colors. Once they come back, maybe you ask them to build something with the material they brought. Maybe you can ask them to draw these things. Maybe you can ask them to imagine different things. For example, imagine a monster leaf. So they will put the leaf in the middle and they will create different monsters out of that, if they are young learners, of course. So a lot of activities can come from only one outdoor lesson. You can make it once a week. You don't have to make it every day, of course. Once a week or once in a fortnight, so that you take the children out, and according to that, you start to reflect and reflect and reflect in many other things. These are the cognitive benefits that we can have from the outdoor lessons. How about the social benefits? What happens to my students when we are outdoor? Look at the photo we have in this slide. As you see, it's a ready class outdoors. The teacher even has a board and a projector, and her computer is connected to some electricity there. The students are sitting. Some of them have computers or laptops. Some of them have only the notebooks, and they are writing something. The teacher here is giving some instructions, and most probably they will start applying. What happens regarding social benefits is that being outside of the classroom, outside of the classroom rules, let's say, it creates a lot of collaboration. Of course, collaboration can happen in the class, like controlled collaboration, that you ask them, sit down in a team together, do this task together, or this task must be done in pairs, find your pair and sit down and start doing the task. This is controlled collaboration. But the real collaboration happens when you as a teacher is not around your students. So you can find out if they are really cooperating together, if they are really working in a teamwork or not. And that happens, of course, outdoor when they are free to move. Of course, the next thing is the social skills. You as a teacher even can work on that to improve it in your class, especially when we have some shy students or introvert students. You can just take a walk with them. You can have a talk with them. There can be a very nice conversation or to discuss the topic with them. You can increase their social skills or improve it while you are in such lessons. The following point is EI, or as we say, the emotional intelligence. Some of the students, they can't even express themselves. They can't talk about what they feel. A lot of students, of course, when you are in an outdoor lesson, they feel uncomfortable because this is not the environment that I'm used to. So now it is your turn as a teacher to make him or her feel secure. And this is a very secure environment to learn in. And one by one, time by time, they will get used to that. I don't want you to think only about being in nature. We are talking about outdoor education. That outdoor lesson can be in a factory, can be in a company, it can be in a park, it can be in the jungle, it can be anywhere. It can be in the school's yard. It can be, if I'm teaching them English, it can be in the school's kitchen. It's an outdoor lesson. Don't think only about being in the nature. The fourth thing is the self-esteem. Of course, because he or she is depending on themselves to learn. You as a teacher there is only a facilitator. Like, I only gave you this environment and I gave you the task needed from you, and you have to go over your learning yourself. After they finish that, they have to present what they have learned that day. And of course, that improves the self-esteem. The point here is that, or the big challenge to the teacher in this point, is the lesson objectives. When you set the objectives at the beginning of your lesson, you want all the students to achieve these objectives. But when you leave them to learn on themselves, some of them achieves all the objectives, but the others maybe achieves 2 or 3 objectives, and that's it. So it is your turn as a teacher, when I come back to my classroom, maybe to pair those students together, maybe to go over the lesson once more to cover the missing parts for the other students, maybe to start some activities and reflections, as we said, so everyone would understand or would cover all the objectives. So the outdoor lesson can't stand alone. It can't happen alone. Even I have seen some of the teachers who plan the outdoor lesson, and there is a prior lesson, like a lesson before, to get her students ready. And of course, lessons after that, not only one. The third type of benefits we will talk about is the physical benefit. Look at the photo here we have. As you see, this is a school and it is ready with an outdoor class. As you see, it looks like a class more suitable to preschool or primary education or something. All the material needed to the teacher is available outside. I even saw some schools that are in rainy countries. They have tents outside in the yard, the school yard. They prepared some class in the tents so that the children will feel or would feel like in an outdoor class. So regarding the physical benefits, of course, we have physical health and fitness. Because many of the teachers who conduct outdoor lesson, they start by some exercises, yoga, meditation, or even Zumba, just as an icebreaker at the beginning. Of course, it would improve the motor skills of the children because they have to move a lot, they touch a lot of things, they hold a lot of things, and they practice many things. And it improves the immune system because the children are maybe in nature. They breathe, I don't know, clean air. They can move. And of course, being around nature somehow, it improves the immune system of the child. And finally, which concludes all the things we have seen now or we have discussed now, all over well-being. Imagine a child in a school that conducts outdoor lessons. He would always and always love to be in the school because he feels happy there. He feels secure with his teacher. He feels happy collaborating and cooperating with his colleagues. He feels happy being confident when he is presenting. He feels happy understanding things alone without help. All these things can gather together to create well-being for the student to be happy and secure in his environment of education. Let's take together some tips that can help us implement that that outdoor lesson in an effective way. First of all, as I mentioned, planning. Of course, even if your lesson is inside the school, inside your classroom, you plan a lot. You plan the introduction, you plan the procedure of your lesson, what is the activity, how will I collect feedback, how will I do assessment. All these process, you go through them. But if it is an outdoor lesson, you even plan more things. Like, for example, anticipated problems. What might be the problems my students will face? For example, we will go to a place after the rain, to study something after the rain, and it is muddy there. And some of my students, they don't want to be in the mud. So, of course, they don't want their clothes to be dirty. What should I do? This is a problem that I need to solve. So maybe I can tell them to bring extra clothes with them. Maybe I can ask the school administration to buy plastic uniform so that they can wear it, or boots, or whatever. You have to think about these details, because when you go out with your students, you don't want anything to disturb your lesson, your main objective. The point related to the planning also is the seating, or let's say the class itself, the outdoor class. If you are planning to have an outdoor class in your school, that would be amazing. You can discuss that with your colleagues and you can design an outdoor class. It can be ready for all the subjects, all the teachers. But if you are making an outdoor lesson in a school trip, for example, it means there is no class there. It is a normal trip. I took my students in a trip to the museum, and there we will have a lesson. So no need for the class sitting then, and you have to plan accordingly. The following point is safety. If anything happens to your students, of course, you are the one blamed because you didn't plan this very carefully. You didn't take safety as a priority. So, of course, you need to take care. For example, if you are going to a place, how will you come back from this place? Is it dangerous for the kids or not? Are there any warnings around this place or not? We had a lot of this back there in Turkey because, a lot of the forests, they are full of animals and you don't know, bears are there, for example. It is very popular or common to find bears in the forest or the jungle. So you have to be very careful if this place is secure for the students or not. I believe here in Tajikistan, we have a lot of open areas that can be really, really nice for outdoor lesson, and places with snow and ice as well. You have great mountains here, guys. It can be very nice for a hiking lesson as well, just to go for hiking and have a lesson with them. Of course, you have to plan the differentiation or differentiated instructions, and don't forget about those students who will use the chance that you are outdoors. Some of the students, as I told you at the beginning, they will think that we are going to have fun or to joke. You have to put that in your consideration and prepare something special for these types of students. I don't want to mess the slow students or the low achievers. Of course, they will be lost in such an environment. They can just walk around without having any result. So you have to be very clear or preparing different instructions for them. The following point is collaboration with parents, especially if you are a teacher of primary. It is really nice if you invite 2 or 3 parents to accompany you, for example, in such an outdoor lesson, to help you, to take care of the kids with you. If it is the time to eat something, they can prepare with you. If a child gets wet, they can change the clothes for them. And parents normally they are very happy contributing to such lessons because they see their children. So it's really important. You can collaborate with the parents just to support you in such lessons. The following point is assessment and evaluation. As we mentioned a while ago, being outdoors is an abnormal environment. Even for you as a teacher, it is very exhausting. Being in a class, of course, is more comfortable. It is your environment, but being outdoor, it's more exhausting because you prepare differently. You assess the students differently. You run here and there and you are after them. So it's really important to choose the nice or the suitable method to assess your students while they are learning. Of course, I can't seat my students and tell them, answer this worksheet. It doesn't work. But maybe having a conversation with them while they are discovering the things or doing something, it can be a way of assessment. Using multimedia. This is also a very nice thing. I've seen some teachers, for example, I remember that very well. It was a geography teacher, and he took his students to an outdoor lesson. And he asked me to accompany him because I was the class teacher that time. They were in grade 10. And their lessons was about herbs, like where to find the herbs and what type of disease these herbs are curing and so on. It was part of their geography lesson. And it was a surprise for me that that teacher, it was a mountain. We went hiking like to go hiking on a mountain, and there were a lot of trees over that mountain. He came with a basket ready to start collecting the herbs and to teach his students how can we use these herbs to cure cough or sore throat or sore in the skin or sore eye or something like that. It was really amazing. I enjoyed it. But the surprise was that the teacher was there a day before, and he labeled almost all the trees that will meet us on the way. And he attached a lot of photos on the trees just to show the way, like arrows and something about that plant. What is the scientific name of the plant? And how does it look like in winter when there are no leaves? And how does it look like when there are leaves? It was very interesting lesson. That class was boys' class. Imagine, only boys in grade 10. Once we arrived there, they knew what to do. They told me, Miss, first of all, you need to have a big stick. So, because we are hiking and you need to use that stick. That teacher used the multimedia very carefully, and he was a really smart person. He involved a lot of images, a lot of flashcards on the trees, a lot of names on the trees. He was asking the students, like, what is the season of this tree? What are the herbs we can find down this tree? So they started to collect and so on. On the way, he found the delta. You know, the delta in geography teachers would know. And he started explaining the delta. It wasn't one of the objectives, but he saw it on the way because there was a river there. So the images, the videos, elements around you, all these are multimedia resources that can make your lesson better for the students. Engage your students, of course. You need to ask questions. Let them ask questions, encourage participation. In some situations, they will ask you questions that you don't know the answer for. So you just ask them to start researching. Students nowadays, they are very smart. They can search things, they can use the compass, they can use the GPS. All these tools can be also part of engaging your audience or your students in that. Be passionate. Actually, be passionate should be the first point. Because if you are not a passionate teacher, you are not going to plan such a lesson to your students. If you don't have the energy, if you don't have the passion, if you don't have the enthusiasm, if you are not ready to be with your students outdoor, don't do it because it's not going to be a successful experience for you. When you as a teacher is ready to take your students out and to face all the problems and solve them, just go for that. So this is really, let's say, number one tip. Okay, I would like to show you some ideas here. We have talked about the scavenger hunt. This is also another example of a class. As you see, it is in a school or maybe in a forest. In some countries, it is easy to have, how can I tell you, to have like a license or an area inside a forest that would follow your school. So you can set that place as an outdoor class and any teacher can use them. If you notice here, this is a ready class outdoor. Anyone can go there and start explaining the lesson. We have some ideas here that you can apply with your students outdoor as an English teacher. First one, nature journaling. This is something to practice writing with your students. especially if you are teaching, for example, how to write a descriptive essay or, I don't know, steps of something or describe something. You can ask them for nature journaling. The next one, plant identification. Okay, this is also, don't say I am an English teacher, I don't have to do that. No, actually, we are teaching them the language to use it in communication, any way of communication. So in the chemistry class, they will need it in biology, physics. So ask them to describe or to identify the plants. Bird watching. Believe it or not, it's really nice. I have tried it myself for a listening lesson, as I told you. I asked the students to listen to all the noises, all the sounds they hear, the sounds of birds, and to imagine these birds. Scavenger hunts, of course, it's a really nice one as well. You can do it even in your school, by the way. You don't have to be outdoor. I think some of you tried that treasure hunt or scavenger hunts. It's really nice. The kids love it a lot. And the thing that I love it about this is that you can relate lessons to each other. So if you cooperate with other subject teachers, you can together agree on the things that the children will find that can relate to each other. One of my teachers prepared that, and it was the lesson. It is primary, and the teacher is a classroom teacher, and he had two lessons that week. One lesson was about using the compass and measuring measurements, and the second lesson in English, it was about direct and indirect speech. So what he has done was that he just distributed some questions around all the school. It's just small papers with direct change from direct into indirect or vice versa and so on. The regular questions we know. But the children had to be in a specific position. They used the compass to reach that position, and from there they measure the distance to reach to the question, start digging or finding it hanged on a wall or something like that. It was really interesting for the kids because they practiced English and math at the same time. I'm not going to talk more about collaboration, team management, even team leadership, by the way. There was a leader for each team and they had to guide each other. It was really interesting for them. The outdoor experiments, of course, this is for teachers more than to be English. Chemistry teachers or biology teachers, they can collect samples or work on them. One of the very, very nice lessons, the outdoor lessons I have attended as well, was a biology lesson on the beach. And the kids there, they went to collect sand. That's it. They were collecting different sand, like closer to the beach, inside the water, and outside the beach, and to see the difference between the three types of this sand. It was really interesting. And we ended that lesson that day by community service activity, which is cleaning the beach. We had very big black plastic bags, and they cleaned the beach from all the papers and the trash and so on. It was really a nice day. And it was winter, by the way. So don't put obstacles to yourself. Hiking lessons. I gave you an example about the geography lesson. Camping. I don't know if it is available in Tajikistan. I have never been to, but camping is also one of the lessons that it can extend to 2 or 3 days, and you can teach many things. And of course, you can't be alone in that. Visit to local parks or nature centers. We have done that at Khalam International School last week. We took all the school students to the botanical park for a whole educational day. All the teachers, they prepared different activities: math, English, science, global perspective, art, and PE. And the teachers, it was like stations style. The students had to go over all the lessons and do something. It was a full school day with the normal breaks. They had their breakfast break, lunch break, and everything, but it was totally outdoors. Every teacher with her class, they had their own carpet. They did their picnic together and they had all the lessons outdoor. Believe me, it changed the whole environment for the kids. They were very happy with that. Even that day, I remember there was a little rain, not a lot of rain, little rain. So the science teachers took the chance to study rain, the smell of the sand after the rain, what can we find after the rain regarding plants and so on. It was really amazing. So I think also we have an available place here for nature centers or local parks. Community service projects. I believe this is really important, especially for high school students, if you are a high school teacher. It's not only about cleaning or whatever, it can go beyond that. And I believe a lot of schools are doing charity work or maybe business one as well, community service business projects and so on. It can be also, or educational one. We have applied the educational one once back there in Turkey when we asked grade 10, 11 students to teach grade 1 students after school hours. I believe something similar to that is happening here for Olympiad students. It is also a nice one. We have here the example lesson. I told you about it while we were talking, the scavenger hunt. Try it with your students. The most important is to be really ready for that. Now I think, Ms. Nasiba, we can hear all the questions that our audience would like to ask about. We still have the time. This topic is really, really big topic. I just want to end, Ms. Nasiba, by two examples that happens internationally. The first example is something called a forest school. If you allow me, I would like to share with you just a second. I will share with you this small video. Believe it or not, we have something called forest schools. And let me show you the website of that. There is even training for teachers to be a forest school teacher. On that website, the trainings are available, and I am not a forest school forest teacher, but the trainings are available here, and the concept of being a forest school is available here as well. I want to show you a very small part of that forest school. What are the kids doing there? Let's take a look. I'm not gonna keep it long.
Outside to take risks, to learn about nature, to learn about.
Evergreen tree outside.
Oh, I wonder who could live in a hole like that.
A mouse.
A mouse, do you think? Who else might live in a hole like that? Ants could live in a hole like that. Snakes go in holes, so there's lots of things it could be. We'll have to do some detective work, won't we? It's an opportunity really for the children to be outside, to explore outside, to take risks, to learn about nature, to learn about looking after their environment. And I think there's also the thought of moving to the future and them respecting and understanding and wanting to keep the woodland going. It's to give them that ethos of the importance really of being outside and of having the environment to be in. The first challenge is for us to get ourselves a hot drink. So what are we going to have to do to get a hot drink?
Make a fire.
Make a fire.
Yeah.
Right, wait.
Achoo.
As they get into reception, we start lighting fires. So they'll learn about sort of the basics of wood having to be dry, of having to have a spark to start the fire. We very much talk through all the dangers and all the risks so that they are aware. Use your other hand maybe to pick it up. That's it. Children can take on an awful lot more than we expect them to. And I think if you've got that expectation of them, they take it on and they grow with it, really. By the end of today, we are going to have a forest school band. We can make kazoos. Okay, so that's your challenge. So I want you to think about that now, about going off and finding an instrument that you'd like to make. Yeah. Well, are you making a kazoo? You are then? Okay. You then start using tools. So they'll use potato peelers and they'll use a knife. They'll use a bow saw. So they're sort of starting to develop those initial skills of tool use, really. Probably more tools than you'd expect 4 and 5-year-olds to be using, but they seem to cope with it very well and they're really excited at the things that they can produce using them. Keep trying, keep practicing. It does work. You keep practicing. It shows how important and how much you can gain from being outside. And I'm incredibly lucky. I spend 3 afternoons a week outside in the woods. No better way to earn a living, really. It's so important that the children develop those skills in confidence and risk-taking. They need to experience that. No down.
I think it's very inspiring. Like, as you see here, the students are outdoor almost all the school day. The teacher is super tired, but looks like very planned because she knows exactly what to teach them. Looks like the lesson objective is musical instruments, discovering different habitats for insects, because she was asking about the ants who can live in this hole. Is it an ant? Is it, what is it? So the kids started to ask. They gathered the leaves from the trees. And as you see, students are very ready. Their boots, their clothes. It is winter. She asked them, let's prepare something hot to drink at the beginning. And she told them that we need dry wood to set on the fire. She told them that, of course, some security rules from the hot water and so on. As you see, it's a complete lesson. It's not only about the board and some words to write in the notebook. It's life. She is teaching them life. She is relating whatever they learn to their real life. How inspiring is that? I hope it is inspiring to some teachers. Let's look quickly at another example, and after that we can receive your questions. The other example is called Waldorf schools or Waldorf education. Actually, it all started in Germany, like in 1919, as I remember the date. And Waldorf education is totally depending on those types of education. Again, this is another video, but I don't think we don't have enough time to play all of it. I just want to look you at the school, how it looks like from
Waldorf
inside.
schools around the world have offered an education that meets the child at their age and stage of development, offers hands-on experiences, and is academically rigorous. Weaving the arts throughout the academic subjects enhances and enriches learning for children from the earliest years through 8th grade. Waldorf educators continue to ask, how can we foster in the student the ability to change, the flexibility and openness to learn, and the readiness to meet the world with confidence and enthusiasm? London Waldorf School, now in its 5th decade, is nestled in the heart of London. Discover a vibrant learning community where childhood is nurtured and protected, where imagination is kindled, and where the experience is just as valuable as the outcome. Our licensed childcare programs for toddlers and preschoolers, as well as our parent and child program, provide a perfect opportunity for your young one to begin their school.
I just want to go back to this scene, not the monkeys, not the horse, but something. It looks like a house. If you look at the school from inside, it looks like the child is going from his home to his another home. So it's really secure environment for him or her. They can really contribute to everything there. They can serve themselves. They can cook something. They can wash their clothes. So inside these types of schools, lessons are not only math, English, geography, history. It is also life skills. They learn everything. And as you've seen, it's from primary or preschool up to high school. Those Waldorf school or Waldorf approach, for example, physics, chemistry, biology lessons, they are always and always outdoors. So maybe you can do more research and under more about these two concepts, forest schools and Waldorf schools. That's all from me, Miss Nasiba. I think our time is just about. I would stop sharing and the mic is back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was amazing. Like, yeah, I also remember that there was a Waldorf school in Fujian, but then later on, like, it was closed. But still, yeah,
Seriously.
but still,
Yeah.
like, lots of those parents who took their kids to that school, they shared amazing stories about
Yes.
about their kids' education and how, like, how it affected their future choices in life and also just
Yeah.
future jobs. So
Yeah.
it was amazing. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing amazing, like,
You are welcome.
amazing videos and also just for great presentation. Dear all, let's open the floor to question and answers. Yeah, because we have just, a couple of more minutes, but still
Yeah.
we can host, like, we can accommodate several
Sure.
questions.
Yes.
So, any questions so far? It seems everyone is so amazed by seeing, like, by seeing so many different approach in teaching, by using
Yes.
outdoor education, which is not, which must be surprising, that how it's possible to teach, without walls.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's interesting. So,
Exactly.
just is there any data regarding, like, the future of these kids who graduate from these non-typical schools? So
Yeah.
maybe they kind of, some kind of research, because I believe that those who graduate from these schools, or just who just at least, like, have a big portion of their education in such kind of schools, they become more resilient, like, personalities in life.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
If you take my opinion about education or success, let's say, success is not the person who goes to medicine or engineering or becomes a CEO later on or CFO or whatever these big positions we hear about. In my opinion, a successful child that graduates from your school is the child who can go through life depending on himself and can show his own character. If you know, Ms. Nasiba, in some countries, all primary period is dedicated to build the character of the student, not the knowledge, not the math, not the English, not anything. It's just to develop his character to be a human being, to be a different person. If you are a different person in an HR department, that's enough. If you are a very, I watched the movie, about a carpenter who builds those tree houses. He is super, super rich because those tree houses, he is really good at designing them in different way. It was a long movie and we watched it till the end because we just looked at the design of the houses he prepared. And at the end, he is a carpenter. He is a normal carpenter. He lives in the woods and he is really connected to the nature and he just knows how to use the material in his hand, the wood. It's exactly like a woman who can knit very well, like a teacher who can have those connection with the students. It's like the engineer who knows how to use concrete. Yeah, this is success, I believe, or this is how to be well educated. Life is the big school, as we say.
Yeah, exactly. And, like,
Yeah.
I completely agree that outdoor education is more teaching about real life, about the real environment, and, like, because at the end of the day we really want the students to be well educated, not in terms of grasping the the science, but rather like becoming a human being who is taking care of everything around him. Yeah, people, nature, like, all those challenges that
Yes.
come along their way, yeah, in life. So yeah, that's very amazing. Thank you so much. So dear all, please unmute yourself if you have any questions. And of course, like, yeah, you can be the first educators if you haven't done it. Yeah, try
Yes.
outdoor education. I remember I also just, during my teaching years, I sometimes also took my students, to outdoors, like, sometimes we went to, yeah, in our environmental protection class, we just went outside to learn about what's going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
happening in our community, how can we
Curiosity.
prevent
Yeah.
it. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all about that.
Yeah.
Zarang, guess you would like to share, please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good
I'm very
evening.
happy to see all of you here.
Thank you.
I want to share from my experience. I didn't do it for 2 weeks now, this month, but last year, previous years, I have done these activities. As Miss Marwa said, I planned. I took my students. Our school is very big, and we
Yes.
have a lot of places. We have outdoor stadium, we have indoor stadium, we have special places for sitting, and it's amazing. But I have one difficulty: you can not control them
Yes.
a lot of time,
Yes.
because they when we say we will go outside, especially I go outside when I have practice lesson, not grammar. We have practice lesson, grammar lesson, and vocabulary practice, work with vocabulary, especially when I have sport team.
Ah, okay.
I have photos about this. I took a lot of photos. I always watch them. My students left us. They finished, but it's a good memory about them. Also,
Sure.
I took them when we played chess. I could not play chess, but we had a big place where they drew it in the floor.
Like
And
this.
students played. Yes, I said to them that in ancient time they played chess with people,
Yes.
and they played chess, and they showed me the way how to play chess.
Yeah.
It was a big big place, and we played rope
Mm-hmm.
rope
Mm-hmm.
pulling
Mm-hmm.
with 10 grades, girls and boys. We played
That's
basketball,
amazing.
volleyball. Yes,
Yeah.
we did in a real year.
Yeah.
But it is amazing. But one minus that, you
Controlling
cannot
them.
control them. Yes,
You
you
know what,
cannot control.
Miss Zara, you know what? It depends on your definition of control. What type of control you want to practice on the kids. We as adults, if we go outdoor, no one can control us. We would just do whatever we want. So
Yeah,
control comes to a limit when you are outdoors, especially with high schoolers. They are hyper already, and they
yeah,
wanted to experience everything. So just keep your controls limited. Don't bother yourself, because as a teacher, you will be really stressed that I can't control them outside. Keep your
yeah,
control to a limit. Just give them the chance to learn. If they get used to that with you, they would really love to be outside with you and not to bother you, I believe.
okay.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Thank you, Ms. Zara. Thank you
Uh,
so much.
you
Thank you, dear.
your presentation was perfect. I liked
Thank
it
you.
very. I will use it more.
Thank you so
Thank
much. Thank
Yeah,
you, dear.
please
Enjoy.
start doing it, and then you will share, yeah, the reflection, what
Yeah,
what
Okay,
what
okay.
happened, and how it works, yeah, with your students.
sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Also, like, yeah,
You.
last week I also saw on Instagram, like, the way how the students are taught in China. So and
Yes.
believe me, they also mentioned that in their primary school, in primary classes, they do everything by hand, and they believe like it helps them to discover not only the environment around, but also it helps them like to train their brain, because like everything we do by hands, it just
Yes.
connected with our
Yes,
with our
definitely.
brain. And also they just they do lots of exercises, indoor, outdoor, and like they do all this knitting, cutting,
Yeah.
all this culinary and everything, because at the end of the day, just it helps them to kind of already have some love for some profession, maybe from this age.
To
And then
discover themselves.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And that
Yeah.
was amazing that they can do everything by their two hands. At least like we teach to write with right hand, but
Yeah.
they can do it with both hands, and that's
Yeah.
amazing.
You
That was
know, in Egypt, we have such an entertainment place. It's called the Kidzania. In Kidzania, the kids go there to that place. It's very huge. It's like a city. And once they enter, they choose a profession. For example, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a doctor, or whatever. So they get dressed inside that place exactly the same, and they take all the tools needed. If he is a firefighter, he will take imagine the firefighter car to drive it inside the city. If he is a police officer, he would take the car. If she is a doctor, she takes an office in a hospital, and so on. They work the whole day as this profession, and they earn money. And they go with this money and buy things, like go to the barber shop and get a haircut, or go to some sweets to the bakery. Some kids working in the bakery, and they really bake things. They go and buy from each other. It's an educational place. And believe me, schools are fighting to find a place just to go with their students, to spend the day in Kidzania, to, as you said, to practice different professions and to discover themselves. After that, kids say, for example, I was a firefighter, but next time I want to be a doctor. So every time they try something different and they practice it, it's an outdoor lesson, to be honest, outdoor educational day, and really, really beneficial for them. Some of the kids said, now I know how much my mom and dad are tired, for example.
Yes, in really, they
Yes.
can choose their future profession in real when they do it themselves, when
Yes.
they see that they can earn money with this, and it's easy to earn from this profession. And when they have experience, yes, 2 times they will do it, they will choose their future profession. It will
Their
be easy
passion.
for them to choose it.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I also noticed the same experience like in the United States when I was there, like, back in 2015. They called it bus city. So it was the same concept, like, they would take like high schoolers there, and also just middle school, like, based on the dates, because one day they host middle school, then high school. So, and that was really amazing, because it's a huge place, but the whole decoration is just like a city, and there is a pharmacy, there is just, a bakery and grocery, and that was amazing, because like, it's a kind of, letting the kids experience an adult life by choosing the profession they would like to pursue. And that was amazing. Yeah.
The kids have the potential, Miss Nasiba. Now our kids are living inside their mobile phones and their laptops. Every child has his own farm. They have their own homes. Sometimes parents, really. But
Yeah.
these types of activities, it takes them out of this world, just to the real world. Come to the real world. Like my son once said, "Oh, I'm dead." And I say, "What happened?" He said, "I died in the game." Mom, do people who die in real life come back like the game? And it was a shocking question for me. No, of course not. People who die in real life, they never come back. So look at what happened to his mind after playing for a long time. He came to the conclusion that maybe we can do something to bring people back to life. So I think taking them to real life is way better. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much. It was
Thank you.
amazing
Thank you.
discussion, and I believe lots of gains, lots of takeaways from today's session. And we hope, yeah, to receive the feedback from all those tips shared today. Please
Sure.
practice it in your class, and also just, yeah, bring your teachers, bring your students to outdoor education so they can enjoy, and you can also see the benefits from your own experience. Once again, thank you so much, Mrs.
Thank
Marwa.
you.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so
Can
much.
we share our photos?
Thanks.
Can we share our photos when we do activities outside?
Yes, of course. Do it in our
Good.
Telegram group. All our
That would be
Telegram group is
great.
just, for chat. Please share so other teachers also get inspired and also just, upscale this experience together and get linked with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, dear all.
Happy
Yeah,
Teacher
Thank
for all.
you.
Happy
Happy
Teacher's
Teacher's
Day.
Day. Yes. Happy
yeah.
Teacher's
Congratulations.
Day
Once
to
again,
everyone.
happy Teachers' Day to all of you, because
Thank
you are making all these great changes in our lives, and
you.
I'm sending the hearts to all of you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
So yeah,
Thank you for
believe me, the teachers are the great power who are able to transform the world in a better way, and also just upbring the future generations in a way that we can be proud of ourselves and also proud of our future generations. Thank you for being great teachers, and happy Teachers' Day to all of you. Enjoy
Thank
your
you so
week.
much.
Thanks. Happy Teacher's Day
Enjoy your
again
evening,
for
everyone.
everyone.
See you. Enjoy your
Yeah,
Thanks.
evening.
enjoy your
Enjoy your
evening.
evening.
Bye bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye bye.